What's up, guys? It's Sam here, and I wanted to talk about what it's like managing and running an Airbnb. So, before I do that, make sure you press that red button. That's better. Make sure you press that red button and subscribe. So, I have a property in Florida. It's a duplex where one side is a 4 bedroom, 2 bath, and full baths. Well, actually, one's a shower, one's a full bath. And then has a studio apartment on there as well. So the 4-2 is on a long-term rental, and that basically covers all the costs of the property. Whereas the studio, that is Airbnb. And so I want to talk about the listing really quick, some of the little details of that, and then what it's like to actually manage that. So what it's like to list it is just extremely easy. You just get in there to create the listing. Maybe it took 30 minutes or so to go through and do the listing. So in the app, you just create a new listing, and then you select the different options, like what amenities you have and that kind of thing. Now, some of the things for where it took a little bit extra time was the pictures. So you want to make sure that everything's super duper clean for the pictures. And then I waited up till I had a day where it was sunny out, because this is in Florida, but so there's sun out a lot, so it's probably just the next day. Where it's sunny out. And then I opened up the blinds. I opened up the door. I turned on all the lights. I think I even there was a little like day lamp in there, like a nightstand type lamp. Turned that on, and then I might have even brought in another lamp from the other part of the house. And I had tons of lighting in there because it just makes it look bigger, it makes it look cleaner, it makes it look like somebody actually gives a shit when there's more lighting, like tons of lighting. And even if you take, say, of this measuring tape, right? Like even if you get a picture, right, of the front of it, you're like, well, why the fuck would anybody want a picture of the back of it? Right? There's nothing on the back of this. Everything's on the front here. Why not just take a picture of the front? Take a picture of the front, take a picture of the side, take a picture of the back, take a picture of the top, pull out the fucking thing here, hook it in here, take a picture like this, take a picture like this. The more pictures you have, the easier it is for people to assess what they're looking at, and people like that. And then another thing for the going forward and the turns, so somebody leaves, next person checks in, is create a checklist, right? So I just used Google Docs or like Microsoft Word, probably Google Docs, and I just created a checklist of all the shit that need to be cleaned, right? So that way I just have a checklist, what needs to be cleaned, boom, 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 boom. What needs to be done in terms of the sheets, the pillowcases, the sweeping in the kitchen, in the bathroom, boom, boom, boom. And pretty fucking self-explanatory, and then you can just print those out and give those to whoever's going to be cleaning. And just work through this checklist every single time, period. And that way shit doesn't get missed, or you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't create a bad experience for your guests. Another thing that saves a fuckload of time, let's get a lockbox. Home Depot, I'll try to link one up down below if I can think of it. But put a lockbox. So I put a lockbox on my doorknob, and when you go to, after somebody reserves it, right, then they can see the check-in instructions. So you can create a detailed list for the check-in instructions. So I just created a list, like, that starts with a picture that's way back by the road, and you get to see what the property looks like, and the door, and then I drew up like a red arrow, like where to fucking go, right? Because you have to be super, 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 super duper, like, self-explanatory. Everything has to be extremely easy. Like, that's not bad. You're just trying to make a better experience so that people don't have questions when they're going through the process of checking in. So take a picture way out in the road, right? And then I walked up like halfway up and took another picture because there's 2 doors technically, right? So I pointed a first arrow was pointing at the right door, but people might get up there and realize there's two doors and have another question mark. So I walked up about halfway, and now I have the specific door that they're supposed to go in, because there's the door to the 4-2, and then there's the door to the house that they're supposed to go in the studio, and one of them straight ahead. So I took another picture and I circled the door they're supposed to go in, and then I get up even closer, and then you put down below the picture, you say lockbox. Right? So I put the lockbox, and then I put a big arrow. So now it's just a picture of the door, and I have another red arrow that's pointing like, if this is my thumb is the doorknob, there's a red arrow on the white door just pointing like this down at the lockbox, because it hangs right below the doorknob, like that. And then I have another picture that's just the fucking doorknob and the lockbox. And it's like this. And then I take a picture of the actual code. So then it's... The lockbox is like maybe like this big, right? And so I take the code in it is a section that's like this big. So I taken a really close picture. On the last picture, I also put in the notes lockbox key code or whatever it is, blah 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 boom. And then I take another picture and I actually have it so they get to see what the code is. And then I open it up, and there's a key inside, so I take a picture of that. And that is essentially my check-in instructions. The easier you can make something, the easier, the less ambiguity the guests have in what is exactly going on, the easier it is for them to check in. The less confusion they have, the less questions they're going to ask you, the less problems are going to come up. And so those are some of the things that I do to deal with that. Now, what it's actually like to manage it, it's pretty fucking easy. Like, so I have it set up where somebody actually takes care of the cleaning and the changeover. But, you know, I respond to a couple messages, probably, I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes a week. Yeah, if there's any issues, I'll respond to that. Maybe 5 times a month I might get a text message or phone call from somebody through like WhatsApp, or that they'll call me and they'll be like, how do you check in? And then I'll be like, oh, actually, you just look at the fucking detailed check-in instructions. Like, it's in the app. Just fucking look. But obviously you don't do it like that. And that's about it. And then I look at the numbers, and I do more with the actual schedule of it. So lately I've been just raising prices, and it's working. Like, people are still booking it, so I'll continue to raise prices until people stop booking. But yeah, I would say in an entire month, let's see, if I took maybe 10, it's probably not even 10 minutes. It's probably more like 4 minutes a week. 4 minutes a week to respond to messages. Say I respond to 2 messages a week. That's 20, that's what is that, 8 plus 8, 16 minutes a month. And then say take another 10 minutes for if I get a phone call, and we'll say another 4 minutes of adjusting the calendar. Maybe 30 minutes. We'll just be super conservative, and we'll call it 45 minutes a month. That's about it. Super easy. And probably once a month I look at the bank account. So the person who is in charge of that has a card. So you can set up a separate, you can set up like a bank account, and you can put, certain banks will allow you to put a limit on the card. So you can have 2 cards, 2 debit cards, and 1 debit card only allows you to purchase up to, say, $50 worth of shit. So any miscellaneous like toilet paper, paper towels, and stuff that has to be purchased for it can be purchased on there, and there's a maximum amount that can be spent on that card is $100. So, or $50, or you can set it at whatever limit you want. And that just makes the process a little bit easier. The next step in the process for me to actually provide even more value to the people who are going to be coming in, the guests, is to get a very detailed video explanation of everything and how to do it, starting at the road and starting across the street, and then just make this little edited video. I'll stick that into the listing so people can click on that to go to YouTube and just watch a video of the listing and somebody talk about the listing and see it in a video form, because the more information that people can have, a lot of times the easier it is for them to make a decision. You want it to be as easy as possible and remove any doubt they might have as to why they should book your listing. So far it's been good. I think it's like a 4.8 out of 5 stars or 4.7 out of 5 stars, something like that. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you press that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe. If you know somebody else who's going to be sharing, who's going to be thinking about using Airbnb or doing Airbnb as a testing it out, share this video with them. They can shoot me a message on Instagram or Facebook. Happy to answer any questions. Not that I'm an expert in it, but I've been doing it for a while now, and I'm happy to share my experience or help them out if they do have any questions, or if you do have any questions. Peace.